is when I went down to Occupy Wall Street, at least I had the decency to admit that I was a member of the 1%. I had a sign that said I was a member of the 1%. But there are some people that refuse to admit that they're in the 1%. I don't know, maybe they're embarrassed by the fact that they're making money, or maybe they're embarrassed by the fact that they're profiting from the very system that they're criticizing, such is the case for filmmaker Michael Moore. I got some sound from an appearance. He was on the Piers Morgan show on CNN the other day, and he was confronted with the fact that, hey, you're in the 1%, right? And he denied it. He repeatedly denied it. I mean, just listen to this exchange from CNN. Play it. It's cut number 10.
So
you're in the 1%, right?
I'm not in the 1%, no, but I am, yes.
Probably 0.2%.
No.
You're one of the most successful filmmakers in the country.
No, I'm not. For a documentary filmmaker, I do very well.
Well, now you're splitting hairs.
Well, no, there's a big difference between a documentary and Avatar.
I want to establish you. Yeah, there is. There is.
So don't. I'm not that.
I thought there was more to that clip. I've got a lot more. I thought I got more sound. But anyway, here's the facts, right? Michael Moore is claiming that he's just a documentary maker and he doesn't make a lot of money. I just picked on YouTube and looked at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 documentaries. Roger and Me, Canadian Bacon, The Big One, Bowling for Columbine, Fahrenheit 9/11, Sicko, and Capitalism: A Love Story. Those films have done a combined gross of $187 million at the box office. Now, this is box office gross. I don't think this counts DVD rentals, pay-per-view. I'm not even sure if this counts international. This might just be U.S. No. It is worldwide. So it's total box office, but just box office, right? That's $187 million in box office. Now, what do you think it cost Michael Moore to produce these documentaries? Yeah, there is a big difference between making an Avatar and making a documentary. Avatar cost, like $100 million to make? Maybe more, I forget. It was like the most expensive movie ever made. These, the documentaries, I mean, they're cheap. I mean, his biggest, most successful documentary is Fahrenheit 9/11. Fahrenheit 9/11, that one film in 2004, did $119 million in box office gross. $119 million. What do you think it cost Michael Moore to shoot that movie? I mean, there's no way he even spent $10 million. I'd be shocked to find out that the budget for Fahrenheit 9/11 was $10 million. I would guess that he would shoot it for under $5 million. And if it did $119 million at the box office, figure the distribution took half. So that left $60 million. Even if you figure maybe, I don't know, did he have some investors? Did he have some partners? At a minimum, he must have made at least $25 million in his pocket off of Fahrenheit 9/11. Now, that's his most successful movie. Maybe his other movies, maybe he's only making $1 million or $2 million a pop. But, I mean, hey, that's real money. I mean, that's certainly enough to put him in the top 1%. In fact, a lot closer to the 0.1% that Piers Morgan, or I think he referenced 0.2%. Why doesn't he come out and admit it? He's rich. He's made a lot of money. And he's made a lot of money bashing the very system that is responsible for his success. But you know what? He wants to pretend that he's one of us, that he's one of us. And so he doesn't want all of his fans to really see him as the wealthy capitalist that he is. He wants to be one of us. And, I've seen this too. I've seen congressmen send out emails or make speeches, and they'll talk about how much the rich are doing, and you'll read their stuff, and they'll say the rest of us, we're getting, the rich are getting richer as the rest of us are getting poor, or they'll constantly give speeches where they include themselves with the vast majority of people, despite the fact that some of these congressmen can have net worths of $30 million, $50 million, $100 million. I mean, I'm thinking of one in particular whose name shall be nameless, but I was reading a lot of his stuff because I'm on his email list, and he's constantly talking about, how he and the rest of the middle class are getting screwed by the rich people and the corporations when he is, I think, the third or the fourth wealthiest member of Congress. This guy's got a lot of money, and he's not the only one that does it. A lot of these politicians want to bring themselves down to the level of the voters who they're trying to associate themselves with or commiserate with or feel that they're all one. But that's not the case. And that's certainly not the case with Michael Moore. Michael Moore has a tremendous amount of money. So why doesn't he admit it? Why doesn't he come clean and say, yeah, I'm rich because I produced a lot of documentaries that people wanted to see. And because people wanted to see my documentaries and because they voluntarily paid their hard-earned money to go to the theater and watch my documentary, that I earned this money. I deserve it. After all, I delivered value for the money. The people who came to the movies to see my films were entertained. They enjoyed the experience. They got their money's worth. Therefore, I earned my profits. But the problem is, if Michael Moore had to defend his own wealth, well, then what about everybody else? Right? All the rationale for defending why he's entitled to the money he's earned would apply to everybody else that he's criticizing. So what he has to do to avoid this is just lie and just pretend he doesn't have any money. Oh, no, I'm just a struggling documentary maker. I'm not making any money off this. I'm just a starving artist. I'm barely getting by. I'm doing this for the sheer, humanitarianism. If that were the case, he wouldn't even charge. He would just be making these movies and distributing them for free. He would just be giving them away to the theaters. He's not doing that. He is a shrewd capitalist. In fact, probably one of the shrewdest. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he is full of it. And, before the break, I played some of the sound from Michael Moore on Piers Morgan's CNN, in which he denied that he was a member of the mighty 1%. And I thought we had more sound, and I was right. We did. I just couldn't find it. So before I go into the EPA stuff, I want to play the second clip of Michael Moore denying, basically lying through his teeth, that he is not in the top 1%. And, of course, to be in the top 1%, you don't really have to earn that much money. I think just a couple hundred, $250,000 a year, that's it. That's the threshold to be in the top 1% of income earners. Michael Moore has left that in the dust as far as I'm concerned. He's more likely in the top 1% of the 1%. But anyway, let's listen to the rest of this sound. It's cut number 11.
I just want to pin you down on one thing.
Work tomorrow.
I need you to admit the bleeding obvious. I need you to sit here and say, I'm in the 1%. Because it's important.
Well, I can't, because
for
I'm
the
not.
validity of your argument. You are that.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I'm not in the 1%?
Of course I'm not. How can I be in the 1%?
Because you're worth millions.
No, that's not true. Listen, I do really well. I do well.
How can he be in the top 1%? Does Michael Moore not even know where the top 1% is? I mean, he's attacking them, for crying out loud. He ought to know, what constitutes being in the top 1%. Does Michael Moore think that in order to be in the top 1%, you have to be a billionaire? Is that what he thinks is? Does he think the top 1% club just includes, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and these guys? Does he really think? I mean, you can count the billionaires. Well, you can't count them on one hand. But, I mean, you're talking about how many billionaires are in America? Probably not even 100 of them. There's 300 million people. The number of billionaires are tiny. Of course, the vast majority of the 1%, right? Because if you figure, 1% is probably, if there's 300 million, so although maybe it's working Americans, so maybe there's 200 million Americans that work for a living. I don't know, maybe it's less, probably less, but the top 1%, that's still what 2 million people. I mean, that's a lot of people. The vast majority of those people are not even close to being billionaires. In fact, the vast majority of them aren't even close to having the kind of money that Michael Moore has. As I said, Fahrenheit 9/11 alone, the guy must have pocketed $25 million. Now, maybe he blew it. Is it possible that Michael Moore isn't a millionaire? That he actually blew all these millions? I mean, we know he spends a lot of money on food, right? But who knows? I mean, is it really possible that he blew that much money? I kind of doubt it.